This is Pedro. Let's talk about Project One. Project One is called Meaningful Type, and the basis of the project is that we're gonna play with type to make it look like an image. Like all projects, you're gonna have a folder for your sketches, and then you're gonna have your project. On the sketches, what you do is you draw sketches very simple, nothing fancy. You can draw on paper, a tablet, or something. Okay, here's some information about how to submit sketches. I got a little PowerPoint where you can put your sketches and then you submit them there. They'll always do a week before the project when you have sketches. Some stuff like papers, you don't need a sketch because it's something written. So keep that in mind. You need my approval in order to start your projects. All projects are actually due on a Friday. I give you 2 free days. So I take them up to Sunday. But keep in mind they're really due on a Friday. So instead of like give you penalty for turning the projects late or the sketches, I just waive all that and I try to play cool. I really appreciate if you submit on a Friday because that gives me more time for me to go over the sketches and write better comments. When you submit them on the grade area, I ask comments. Or I might send you an email if I have a lot to write. And then you get your input. So let's go to Project One. Project One, Meaningful Type, is where you actually express the meaning of a word with an image. I found this guy on the internet, which is really awesome. Even on the class resources, I got a YouTube video about him. And his name is G Lee, and he is from Korea. And this is an example of his work. You probably all know Salvador Dali. Dali is the painter with that funny mustache. He was a surrealist painter, super famous. And you see the way he played with the A to make it look like his mustache. Notice this is not really a caricature. It's just a little bit of play, but not much. There's one. We're all adults here, and you see how they play with the C. Clock. You see the O and the L. It looks just like a clock, but it's not a cartoon of a clock. It doesn't have a pendulum. It doesn't have bells. Nothing like that. This is a really good practice for later because later you're gonna be designing logos. Look at exit. You see how the X is kind of running for the I that looks like an exit? A little bit of distortion, but not much. No little lines of movement. It's not a hand. Nothing like that. I love this one. This is probably my favorite one. Pirate. Nothing was really changed here. It was just stuck vertically, and by filling the P, it was like a patch. A lot of pirates have the eye patch. If you get a Halloween costume for Halloween, this is what you get. Van Gogh. No, nothing was changed on the type. Van Gogh is known for many things. Among them, that he cuts his ear. Van Gogh, unfortunately, had a lot of mental issues, and he did that. He even painted himself with a bandage around his ear. So the G tends to look like an ear. So that was really, really clever. This one, this is kind of like pushing it. It's still very creative because really it's still all type. And if you look at the R, it looks like a gun, and the Y seems to have the arm raised. It's also like, it seems to me like it's a little higher than the other letters, like it's just jumping, all scared. Horizon, how clever. You see the movement of the sun? Because the sun hides in the horizon. You see that? The moon. Look at Earth and the moon. So this is a great example of what we want to do for this assignment. That's exactly what you want to do. Uh, it's interesting because I had this assignment for quite a few years now, and I just discovered this artist. So it's something that people do. And you find this video here, okay? So here's the instruction for the project. There's a PowerPoint that you download, and the instructions, actually what you have to turn in is there step by step to make sure you don't forget anything. So I always like to or I advise to download the PowerPoint before you start working on your project, even before you start sketching. go to the actual project and download the submission PowerPoint for the project. So you know what you've been asked. It works kind of like a rubric, okay? Uh, and this is what you actually submit your project. You click there, then you go browse my computer, and you go after the PowerPoint. So this is how this works. When you send images into Blackboard, because of space limitation, I want you guys to compress the images before you send that PowerPoint. Here I have a random PowerPoint that I make for another class. But this is what I mean. In this PowerPoint, I'm going to make it a little smaller so you can see it on the screen. I have an image. If you double click any image on PowerPoint, the options change and you're going to see this little icon. So you're going to compress a picture. You click there and you take it to 150. That will do all the images in the file. So this is the last thing I do. So if you have 10 images, it takes care of everything. It's really downsized the size on Blackboard. Unfortunately, my space on Blackboard is limited with school. So I need this presentation small, everything that you send. Otherwise, I'm going to delete them because it's going to fill my storage and we're going to have a problem. So I want you to do that. I hope this answered your question about your first project. And I'll make videos for the rest as the year move on. Again, we start with the sketches that can be handmade or you can draw them on an iPad, whatever you like. Put them in a PowerPoint and send them to me. And then you do the actual project, will be due a week after. I hope this worked for you. And the very last thing is, because it is so easy sometimes to get influenced by the meaning of the word, I want you guys to use a different language other than Spanish or English. Most people in the Valley are bilingual. So try to use French words. Try to get over words like run, jump, shake. What is the other one that I get a lot of reflection? Try to be a little more creative. Look at the Van Gogh and the Dali ones. Those are quite clever. So try to find some other stuff that goes beyond, you know what I mean. Names are names, so I don't care about names, you know. I recommend action verbs. They're really handy. They're better to work on because they explain an action, like exit. So take care and send me messages. I love to get questions. So I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.